The Social Democrats and Independent MP Marlene Hassan Nahon say there are serious issues of consultation, a lack of regard for teachers' views and for basic union rights. They say it's important to do things properly and there should be no railroading of views nor a rush for the line for electoral reasons.
Well, we think it's overly ambitious, and it's not just our views. It's not just the GSD view or Keith Asopardi's view, because just with the survey that was published by the GTA, you could see that 80% of teachers think that there has been insufficient consultation. Many teachers complain about resources or school or temperature in school classrooms, but the most important thing in terms of the educational reforms proposed is that a very high number of teachers are just unhappy about the way the consultation is being driven. There are some teachers in some schools that are happy with the proposals, but there are many teachers that we've spoken to, and that is reflected in the GTA survey, that are unhappy about these reforms and how they are being driven and how the detail is not being considered properly.
The opposition politicians say there's a risk of getting it wrong, arguing that the views of teachers and teaching professionals need to be heard loud and clear, and that this requires full, meaningful consultation of teachers at all levels. They say it should take as long as it needs to take, and that there should be no done deal presented to teachers. They should have a real opportunity to influence the core decisions. The GSD and Ms. Hassan Nahon say union representatives should be respected and allowed to do their jobs unhindered. They should be allowed to have access to schools after hours for the purposes of consulting their members on these important issues. And they say there cannot be a ban on the use of buildings or conditions placed on their use that restrict basic union rights.
Unfortunately, the fact that the GTA was banned from locations left the teachers very disheartened, because they didn't have a platform where they could air their concerns on the real educational issues themselves. Government needs to engage teachers more, explain to them how they propose the transition will be taking place in terms of the key stage realignment, for example, in terms of staffing levels, the staffing distribution, whether they're going to be pay reviews, considering that in the case of the two secondary schools, there's going to be an extra year, which is going to change the dynamics of how those schools conduct their business effectively. And these issues, I believe, should have been aired and ventilated and discussed way before the schools even started the building process.
The opposition politicians say the government should show the reforms are educationally driven. The joint statement does not mean that the GSD and Ms. Hassan Nahon agree on all aspects of education policy, nor is it an attempt, they say, to agree a joint education policy. It's simply a joint statement on the fundamentals of the proposed reforms that will impact upon generations of students.